Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Today we're going to learn about a new tool called Read and Write, and I'm going to show you how to add this tool to your computer, and then either your teacher is going to help you learn the tool itself, or you can watch one of my tutorials and I'll get you started. So I'm going to go ahead and delete myself off the screen. And let's take a look at Read and Write. So first things first, your teacher will have shared you the link that I am using. So you see that I highlighted in blue, this big link. You don't have to remember that, but your teacher's going to share that link with you. And then you're going to see this purple puzzle piece come up. Now, we are going to add this to Google Chrome. So Google Chrome is what's running in the background here up here. That makes you go to web pages, but you can also add little tools called extensions. And those are just little helper tools you can turn on and off. So first things first, you're going to click the blue Add to Chrome button. So let's see what happens when I do that. All right. Now you're going to get a pop-up window, and it's always good to check and see when you get a pop-up window what it says. And let me just tell you that this one says, add to Read and Write for Google Chrome, ? So they're just saying, is that okay to add it? Because it can make changes to our computer. And the answer is going to be yes, this is perfectly safe. But I don't actually see a yes down here below. I see a cancel button, which is basically means no. Or I see a button that says add extension, starts with the letter A, and we want to choose that. Perfectly safe to do so. Okay, now Read and Write is going to think for just a moment, and you notice I have another pop-up window up here, up at the top, and it just tells me that it has been added here for me to use. Now, whenever you see a pop-up window, there's an X in the top corner. X marks the spot. This is how you close items. So I'm going to close that message, and I invite you to do the same if you are following along. Okay. Now, you probably noticed there was a little purple icon at the top, but it disappeared. So let me show you how to make that little purple puzzle piece, the same picture we see over here on the left. We want to make that stay on the screen. So there is a gray puzzle piece, and if I hover over that, there's a word below it, and it says extensions, and that just means tools. It's a fancy word for tools. So we're going to click on it. And then as a student, you actually have some tools that we as a school kind of say can be okay on your computer. But you're going to look for that purple puzzle piece with an R and a W. That stands for Read and Write. And all you have to do is push this little push pin. So I invite you to pause this video and go and find that. Or if you're watching along with me, you can do that on your screen. But this is a push pin, and just like you push pin a poster up on your wall, if I click the push pin on any of these little tools, all that says is it can stay up here so I can see it. So take a moment, push pin to pin this tool called Read and Write up here in the top, and then remember X marks the spot will close any pop-up window. Fabulous. Okay. So that little toolbar is right here for us, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And you notice nothing's happening on this screen because there's really not anything for me to do here. There's not anything for me to read. There's not really too much for me to write on. So that's not going to be extra helpful on that page. But let's say that my teacher shared some sort of document with me. And maybe they just gave me a blank page for me to write on. So that would be something your teacher shared. They might also share a website with you of some kind that maybe has some big words in it and you'd love some help reading. That's when we might click on that toolbar. So there's lots of tutorial videos about how to use Read and Write. But we have one more step here before you can start using it and before you can start playing with the tools. Okay? So I'm going to go back up here to the top. I opened a piece of paper, and I'm going to click on Read and Write. And your teacher's probably going to share a little link with you to do that as well so that you can follow this step. So if I click on Read and Write here, sometimes I get the puzzle piece shows up again, and I just have to open it. Isn't that silly? Not all the time. Sometimes if I'm on a website and I click it, it might just go ahead and open for me. Now, the last step to make sure you can use this in all sorts of places is to tell Read and Write who you are. Okay, because Read and Write wants to help you, but it needs to know who you are, and that way it can save things for you too. So the last step to get it all up and ready is you'll get this little message, and it says, sign in with Google. Okay, and you guys all have a little Google account that's kind of like your school account. In fact, if you see this message pop up, you're just going to click on your name. So your name is probably here somewhere, and that just says who you are. And then Read and Write always likes to double check. Is it okay? Is that all right? Can we work together? And if the answer is yes, and it is, we're going to say allow, A for allow. Cancel means no. And if you say no, then you can't use Read and Write. So we don't want to cancel it. We want to allow it. So I'm going to click allow. All right. And now you see I have all these tools at the top, and that's exactly what you want. And now you're all set up and ready to use it. So go ahead and follow along this video. We added it to Chrome. We clicked on it to make sure it would connect and it would know who we are. And if you watch some other videos or you follow along with your teacher, they're going to go through and show you all these fun tools that you have to not only help you read, but to also help you write. So thanks for following along, and we'll see you on another video real soon.